Hello Sangha, welcome to day 9. I hope that you're finding this beneficial and not just what we're doing on the mat. I hope that you find that you're moving a little bit better, that maybe you are thinking a little clearer. One of the things we spoke about on the course with my teachers was this idea of Svasta Yoga Dinacharya, which means Svasta means wellness and the other things that we can do in our life, which are not just on the mat. So, like when you have a shower, you could be thinking about not just cleansing yourself externally. Normally when we're in a shower, our minds are all over the place, but you can be thinking about, I'm cleansing myself externally, but I'm trying to keep myself and my thoughts internally pure. Maybe if you learn a little mantra, whether it's a Sanskrit one or an English one, you have that kind of running through your head through the day rather than the normal chaotic thought patterns that we do. So there's many ideas. Like when you eat food, can you be thankful for that food and feel like you're blessing yourself with that food rather than just like wolfing everything down like we normally do, or I normally do. We're still in India. I'm on Nadia's porch again. The sky is like Scotland. It's grey and but it's 29 degrees, so that's probably not like Scotland. So okay, let's start. We're going to work on pigeon posture today. So bring yourself to your back and place your feet flat and place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. And just lift and lay any parts of your body that you choose to make it a bit more comfortable, a bit more settled, and then let both hands rest by your sides. And as you inhale, reach your arms up over your head, all the way towards the ground or the floor behind, and as you exhale, bring them back by your sides. And try that a couple more times. Every inhale, you're coming up and over. Every exhale, you're gently coming back down. And one last time. Good. Press your feet into the ground now, let your arms rest. And now as you inhale, let your hips rise. And as you exhale, let your hips come down. Okay. And try that twice more. Every inhale, raising up, pushing the floor away, the ground away. Exhale, slowly coming down. And one last time. And then when you're ready, do everything we've done so far together. So as you inhale, the breath comes in, your arms go up and over, your hips rise. And as you exhale, your arms come back down, your hips come back down. And you exhale the breath from your body. Try that a couple more times. And last one. Bring your feet up off the floor, but stay on your back. Rock your hips from side to side. And place your left foot on the floor and your right foot over your left thigh. Spread out your arms wide if you have room. I'm going to push your left foot into the floor and see if we can lift our hips up again, but just using our left foot. Okay, so your right foot is resting over your left thigh. So we're opening up the hips already a little bit here. And then back down. Okay. Try that again, push into your left foot, let your hips rise, and then down, okay? One last time, and down. Hug both knees towards you, okay? Taking your hips from side to side, place your right foot on the floor, your left foot over your right thigh, spread out both arms, and again, let your hips lift, this time just using your right foot, pushing into the ground and down, okay? Try and draw the heel towards you so you're not pushing all the way into your shoulders and your neck. And down, okay? And last one. Good. And then from there, hug your knees toward your chest, take your hips from side to side. Massaging your back into the floor, roll out to one side, push into the floor, and come to seated position. Okay. Just going to do a little opening here for our shoulders. So take your right hand slightly forward, bring your left hand inside it, and inhale, open all the way up. And exhale, let it come back down towards that hand. Inhale, let it come all the way up. Feel like your shoulders are really opening, and down, and last one. Good. And then let your left hand come down, take your right hand inside, and then you'll turn and open up. Okay. It's a really big opening movement for your body. Good. And open up. Good. And then come to the middle and just give your arms a shake. Roll through your shoulders. Okay. Bring your hands forward towards the front of your mat. Bring your knees towards the center. Shift your weight over your hands and then back towards your heels. Okay. Shift your weight over your hands, maybe lower your chest, and then push the floor away. Back towards your heels, taking your hips all the way back, and one last time. Maybe your nose comes towards the mat, maybe not. And then walk your hands back towards your knees and see how kneeling's feeling for you. You might find, even though we haven't knelt for a few days, that maybe things that were uncomfortable at the start, if you're consistent with your practice, are more comfortable now, okay? So take your hands forward again. Take your toes underneath, hips back towards your heels. Try and keep this angle in your arms again. And all we're going to do is let our heels go back and down and let ourselves float up into downward facing dog. Taking one heel down and then the other heel down. From here, raise up your left leg. Try and lift it a little bit higher. And then let it float back down. Try lifting your right leg. Again, a little bit higher. And let it float back down. Okay. Lift your left leg. And this time, bring your knee behind your left hand. Okay. And make sure there's enough room at your right leg for that left foot to come across to the right hand side. So see how that feels as it switches over. See if you can lift your right foot slightly and start to walk it back, resting onto your left shin, okay? And give it a little rocking action here so you're working into your hip. If you're somebody who's really uncomfortable, you can use a block or a book or something underneath your left hip and just rest into that a little bit more, okay? Once you've rocked back and forth, let your elbows come down towards the floor. And for some of us, we can let our elbows go wide and our head come all the way down towards the ground. Lift your head, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then walk both elbows off to the left hand side. Bring them back to the middle and off to the right hand side. And then back to the middle, okay. Bring your left hand to your right elbow and inhale, reach up with your right hand. Okay. Let your elbow come down again. Bring your left hand out to the front. Bring your right hand to your left elbow and take your left hand behind your back and turn here. And then let both elbows come down towards the floor. Okay. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders now. And you might want a cushion underneath your back knee, okay? Because we're going to bend our back knee. So you might want something underneath that, okay? So bend your back knee, walk your hands towards it, and reach for your right foot. And bring your heel towards your butt and your shoulder forward, okay? So you might adjust your left hand, and you're just going to send your hip and your shoulder forward and your heel towards your butt. So you feel pretty significant opening down the front of your thigh. Good. And when you're ready to, you can gently release that. Okay, good. Send your left hip towards the floor. Reach your right foot all the way forward. But we're going to straighten our left leg and bring our right foot outside our left thigh. Draw your chest towards your thigh, okay? So you're pushing away through your lower leg, pointing your toes back towards you. Take your left hand forward, wrap it around your right knee, okay? And take your other hand behind and just draw this knee towards your armpit. Turn your whole body. See how that feels. And then gently release that and turn it inside. Come back to face the front. This foot that's out here, can you sweep it out to the side and bring it underneath your hip? Okay. And then you're going to, Nadia's falling on. She's did what most people do is they sweep the foot the other way, but some people do. Yeah. Good. Okay, take your right hand forward or your left hand forward, wrap it around your right knee and turn. Okay. And there's a few variations in this. You can try and, if you want to, put your hands underneath the hole underneath your knee, take the other hand behind your back and try and connect them together if you want to. Okay. But that's a little bit tricky, so don't worry if that's not for you to do. Gently release. Okay, so this foot that's at the front, that's on the ground, is going to become glued to the ground, right? And we're going to try and get up to tree posture without that changing where it is in space, okay? So try and come up to tree posture without that foot changing where it is. And can you get back down, okay? And we're going to go up again. But this time, can you come up without your hands if you want? Can you go all the way up without your hands? Into tree posture, relax your shoulders, lengthen up through your spine. Keep your breath nice and steady, slow, smooth. And then back down. Good. Unravel your legs. Give them a good shake off. Tap them up and down. Get nice and loose. Shake off your arms. Roll off your shoulders. Okay. And then come back to all fours. And we're going to do the other side, obviously. So before we do the other side, let's do what we did initially. To start from this position, let your hips come back towards your heels. See how one side feels compared to the other side. And then come forward and see if you can lower your chest and your nose towards the ground. You can do that a couple of times. You can do it really slow if you want to make it a little harder. Good. When you feel you've done that enough, tuck underneath your toes. Let your hips come back towards your heels and push your hands away. Not like aggressively, just very softly and gently, and let your heels go back and down. So you're really almost drifting up and evolving up into downward facing dog. It's not a fight with your body to get to this posture. Okay, when you're ready, come up on your toes, raise your right leg. And exhale, let it come down, okay? Inhale, lift your left leg. And exhale, let it come down. Inhale, raise your right leg once again, and bring your knee behind your right hand. Okay? So you've got enough room to bring that foot underneath your left thigh, okay? Some people say you should line up your shin with your mat. I'm not a big fan of that advice, okay? Take your left leg back and let your hip sink. So you're kind of controlling it rather than forcing it is what we're trying to do. So just gently rock like we did the other side, side to side. Good. When you feel it softening, whenever you want to go forward, you can go forward, letting your elbows come down. And again, from side to side. It's more a diagonal kind of movement rather than side to side. So you just feel like your hip is softening as you do this. And then both elbows off to the right hand side. You might feel that slightly differently. If you can even keep the rocking going if you want. And then both elbows off to the left hand side. Good. Both elbows back to the center. Bring your right hand to your left elbow. Inhale up with your left hand. Exhale, let it come down. Okay. Right hand goes forward, left hand to your right elbow, right hand on your lower back, and turn and open up from here. Let both elbows come down. Okay. Push into your hands, walk them underneath your shoulders. Okay. Remember, take a cushion underneath your back knee. Okay, so get that comfortable, bend your left knee, walk your hands towards it, and take your left hand around your left foot and draw your shoulders forward and your heel towards your buttock. Okay. And you can kind of play with this and find what you need, okay? If you've been running a lot, this might be excruciating, so just lie on your side and hold your left hand with your left foot. Or your left foot with your left hand. And then gently release that down. Take your right hip onto the floor. Take your left foot all the way forward. As you straighten your right leg, bring your left foot outside your right thigh. If it's too uncomfortable, you just keep it inside, okay? So it's a version of Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your arm forward, wrap it around your knee, take your other hand behind, and turn your whole body and look behind. Drawing your thigh in towards your belly, your knee towards your armpit, and then gently release and turn the opposite way. Coming forward again. Take your right foot underneath your opposite hip. Nadia's got it. Perfect this time. Right hand forward, wrap it around, and see if you can turn your whole body. Good. Gently release that. Left foot's now glued to the ground. Use your hands initially just to kind of get your body used to getting up. So come up into tree posture. Okay. Seeing how that feels. Good. Can you come back down where you were? And don't worry if you're using a table or a chair or a small child to get up. Can you go up again, this time without using your hands? Okay. Good. Relax your shoulders. Take a moment in tree. And then gently come down. Good. Bring your legs forward. Untangle, shake them off, tap them up and down. Okay. Shake off your arms, roll off your shoulders. And then come to a seated position that's comfortable for you. Okay. So it takes a little longer to do that sequence. So we don't have so much time for sitting today, but if you do have more time, then please give yourself that time to sit and just to breathe, okay? And maybe that was fairly energetic for you, so it might take a number of breaths before you feel like you're truly settled, but we're going to bring our fingers and point them towards our heart today. And that's where we're going to let our attention rest for the next 6 to 12 breaths. So every time you find yourself thinking and thoughts arising, not that thoughts don't arise, but just let them pass and bring your awareness and your focus down to your heart. So let your thoughts and your thinking be about your heart and your breathing. And very slowly allow some movement in your fingers and your toes. If you have more time to rest, and even come into Shavasana for 10 minutes or even 15 minutes or however long you might have. Just let some movement happen. If you don't have time, into your arms, maybe reach it up, maybe stretch it out, whatever you need to do, shaking off. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, fingertips connected, base of your palms connected, your thumbs are tucked in. Om Shanti. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.